Good morning, everyone. So today we are going to start our next chapter of inorganic chemistry, that is S block elements. Okay. So before move on to this chapter, you must know all the periodic properties. Okay, all the properties of related to an element, like we have atomic radius, ionization energy, electronegativity, density, and electron gain enthalpy. Okay, so you must know these properties before move on to this chapter. Now, what are s block elements? Okay, so s block elements are those the elements in which the electron last electron enters in the s orbital, in the s orbital. So the elements in which the last electron enters into the s orbital are known as s block elements. As we all know, s block orbital consists of only two electrons. Okay, so it consists of only two electrons. So there are only two groups present in s block. That is group number one and group number two. Group number one and group number two. Group number one is known as alkali metals, and group number two is alkaline earth metals. Okay, so the alkaline metals are, if we talk about alkali metals, we have sodium, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, and cesium. Okay, cesium, and then we have francium, which is radioactive in nature. Okay, this francium is radioactive, and it is discovered in Paris in Curie lab. Okay, uh, and in alkaline earth metals we have magnesium. Okay, boron, we have magnesium, uh, and then we have radon. Okay, so radium is also this radium is also radioactive in nature. Okay, this is also radioactive in nature. So these are some of the alkaline earth metals and alkali metals. So now, as we have only two electrons, so the general electronic configuration is of alkali metals is uh, noble gases and ns1. Okay, because only one electron is present in the s orbital. Okay, so n is any natural number like 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so n starts from actually 2. So because first 1s is already occupied by hydrogen and helium, and similarly here we have the electronic configuration, general electronic configuration is noble gas. Okay, and then we have ns2. Okay, so two electrons are present in the s orbitals of alkaline earth metal. So these are the electronic configuration. Okay, now let us talk about their abundance. So out of these, calcium is the most abundant, is the fifth most abundant element, and then we have magnesium. Magnesium is the sixth, has sixth place. Okay, then we have sodium. Sodium is on seventh place, and a very small difference between sodium and potassium. That is why potassium is on eighth place. Okay, if we talk about their abundance, and and others are present in at their abundance is not so large. Okay, so that is why we have to keep in mind about magnesium, calcium, sodium, and potassium only. Okay, now now let us discuss about uh, their availability in nature. Okay, so all the alkali and alkaline earth metals are generally highly reactive. Okay, they are very reactive. So that is why they are not present in the free state. Okay, they are present in combined state with some other species or in form of some other species, like if we talk about alkali metals. So alkali metals are present as silicates, oxides, or they are also present as carbonates and borates, etc. Okay, and similarly, alkaline earth metals. If you talk about alkaline earth metals, they are also present as oxides. They are also present as sulfates and carbonates, chlorides, okay, and phosphides, etc. Okay, so due to not so small, due to there is a large difference between their atomic radii, they are not present in a combined state. But there is also a double compound that is dolomite. Okay, this is a compound related to alkaline earth metals, and the formula is MgCO3.CaCO3. Okay, similarly, there is also a compound consists of both alkali and alkaline earth metal, that is carnallite. Carnallite. KCl MgCl2.6 molecule of water. Okay, so this is also a double salt, KCl MgCl2 dot 6 molecule of water. So this is also a double compound. Okay, double salt compound. Okay, so firstly let us discuss about the alkali metals. Okay, so let us discuss about the properties of alkali metals. Group number 1. So group number 1 is known as alkali metals. Why they are called as alkali metals? Because when they react with water, they will form alkalis. Okay, the alkalis are known as soluble bases. Okay, that is why they are known as alkali metals. Okay, they are known as alkali metals, and the first alkali metal is lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium. Okay, so we'll talk about only these 5 because francium is radioactive in nature, तो उसकी हम बात नहीं करेंगे. Okay, so uh, the first property is we are discussing about the physical properties. Okay, and the general electronic configuration is 2s1, 3s1, okay, and 4s1, similarly 5s1, 6s1. Okay, this is the outer electronic configuration, and the first physical property is atomic radius. Atomic radii. Okay, so as we move from top to bottom along the period, along the group, from top to bottom, atomic radius increases. Atomic radii increases. Okay, now what is the reason that atomic radii increases? As we all know that as the atomic number increases, nuclear charge will increase. Okay, because we all know that the atomic number of lithium is 3, then we have 7. Okay, then we have then we have 11. Okay, then we have 19. So as the atomic number increases, the number of protons will increase. That is why the nuclear charge will increase, because nuclear charge is the attraction of how the protons are attracting the electrons. Okay, it is a tendency to hold the electrons by the protons. So as the number of protons increases, the attraction or the hold will also increase on the electrons, but there is also an increase in the number of shells. Okay, as we go from as we move from lithium to sodium, there is increase in the number of shells. As the period number increases, the shell number is also increased. Okay, So and the influence of this increase in shell number overpowers the decrease in atomic radius due to the nuclear charge. Okay, so nuclear charge always try to reduce the atomic radius, but the influence of the increase in shell number is more. Okay, so the main reason is due to the increase in number of shells. Okay, number of shells. So this is the first reason. There is also a reason of shielding effect. Okay, shielding effect or screening effect. Screening effect is what? It is the repulsion offered by the inner electrons to the outer electrons. Okay, so such that they will not feel the nuclear charge. Okay, they will not feel the nuclear charge. For example, this is our nucleus, and here we have the first shell, then we have second, and then we have the third shell. Okay, so the electrons which are present in the inner shell, they will repel the other electrons which are present in the outermost shell, such that the nuclear charge which is felt by this electron, this outermost electron, okay, decreases. That is why the nuclear charge, as the nuclear charge decreases, so the atomic radius will increase. Okay, there is no you can say there is no decrease in the atomic radius due to the nuclear charge. Okay, so shielding effect reduce the nuclear charge. Okay, uh, so these are the two main reasons why the atomic radius increases as we go down the group. Okay, so the second property is their ionic radii. Ionic radii also similar to the atomic radii. As we go top to bottom, the ionic radii will also increase. And in all the in periodic table, they have the largest ionic radii. Okay, they have the largest ionic radii. One more thing, that how they have the largest ionic radii, because we all know that as the charge on the cation increases, the atomic radii will decrease. Okay, and we all know that they are monovalent. They always form monovalent ions. Why they form monovalent ions? Let us discuss about this thing. Why they always form monovalent ions? Because they all have a tendency to donate only a single electron. Okay, because they all have a tendency to donate single electron, because after the donation of their single electron, okay, after the donation of their single electron, they will get nearest noble gas configuration. For example, if we have sodium, so the electronic configuration of sodium is neon, and then we have 2s1, sorry, 3s1. Okay, so after the removal of this electron, it will get a nearest noble gas configuration similar to neon with 10 electrons. Okay, so that is why they will form only monovalent ions. Okay, after the formation of monovalent ion, it is very difficult to remove the second electron, because after the removal of one electron, they will get nearest noble gas configuration, which is very stable. So that is why the second ionization energy is very high. We'll discuss about the ionization energy later. So they are monovalent ions. For example, we have Na plus 1, Li plus 1. Okay, so that is why they are the largest, they have the largest atomic radii. Okay, because as the charge on the cation increases, the size of the cation will decrease. Okay, for example, we have lithium positive and Mg2 positive. So out of these two, lithium positive has a large atomic radii. Okay, because uh, as the charge on the cation increases, the atomic radii will decrease. Okay, you must know all the concepts. Okay, you must know all the basic concepts before move on to this chapter. I'm again saying, okay, that you must know all the basic concepts of third chapter, which is in third chapter, that is periodic properties of elements. So firstly revise that chapter, okay, before I move on to this chapter. So this is the second property, atomic radii, ionic radii. The third property is they have the lowest ionization energy. Okay, low ionization energy. The first ionization energy is very low, because they all are in a hurry to get nearest noble gas configuration. So that is why the first ionization energy is very low, but the first ionization energy is very low. But if we talk about the second ionization energy, so the second ionization energy is very high. Okay, second ionization energy is very high. Why the second ionization energy is very high? Because after the removal of one electron, they will get a nearest noble gas configuration. Okay, so write it in your notebook that the main reason of this high ionization energy is that after the removal of one electron, they will get the nearest noble gas configuration. Okay, next property is, okay, so ionization energy क्या होता है? Ionization energy is the energy required to eject an electron from the gaseous state of any element. Okay, for example, we have Na as a gas. So firstly, we have to change the sodium which is present in solid state into gaseous state, and then we can easily eject electron from the gaseous state element. Okay, the fourth property is electronegativity, or in case of alkali metals, we have electropositivity. Electropositivity, electropositive nature. Now these all are electropositive nature as they are metal. Okay, that is why they are called as metal, because they have a tendency to donate electrons. Okay, so they have a tendency to donate electrons. So that is why they are electropositive in nature. Their electronegativity value is very low. Okay, so that is why they are known as electropositive in nature. That is why they are called as metals. Now the next property is their hydrization energy, and this is a very important property. Hydration energy. Okay, so what is this hydration energy? Firstly, hydration energy is defined as the amount of energy released. Okay, write it in your notebook. Hydration energy is defined as the amount of energy released when a gaseous ion is dissolved in water. Okay, when we dissolve this, for example, we have lithium positive ion. When we dissolve this lithium positive ion in water to form lithium positive aqueous, there is a large amount of energy is released. Okay, and this reaction is exothermic in nature. A large amount of energy is released, which depends upon the size of the cation we have. Smaller the size of the cation, higher the energy will be released. Okay, so write it down. Smaller the size of cation, okay, higher the energy will be released. Okay, one more thing I forgot to mention over here. The order of ionization energy decreases as we go down the group, because as the size increases, it is easy to eject an electron. So the order of ionization energy is lithium, then we have sodium, then we have potassium, cesium, and rubidium and cesium. This is the order of uh, ionization energy. Similarly, electropositive character is inversely proportional to ionization energy. Okay, electropositive character means how easily we can give the electrons. Okay, so cesium has a very good ability to give electrons because its size is larger. So the electropositive character का जो order होगा, cesium का सबसे ज़्यादा, then rubidium, then potassium, then sodium, and then we have lithium. Okay, so as we go down the group, electropositive character increases and ionization energy will decrease. So as we go down the group, the size of the cation increases. So lithium has the smaller size. So in case of lithium, the hydrization energy is very high. Okay, so it is the amount of energy released when a gaseous cation dissolve in water. Okay, to form its aqueous form. Now That is why this lithium exists, its compounds exist in hydrated form, like we have LiCl dot 2 molecule of water. Okay, so most of the compounds of lithium exist in hydrated form. Okay, that this is due to the reason that a large amount of hydration energy is released. Okay, so the order for hydration energy is Li positive, then Na positive, then then K positive, and then we have Rb positive, and then Cs positive. Okay, so this is the order for hydration energy. Okay, next we have metallic character and non-metallic character. So these all are metallic in nature, and metallic character is directly related to the ionization energy as well as electropositivity. Okay, or we can also correlate it with atomic radius. So metals are those which can easily give their electrons. Okay, those which can give electrons are known as metals. So metallic character की अगर बात की जाए, so this is our seventh property, I think, metallic character. So metallic character is directly proportional to electropositive character, or it is inversely proportional to ionization energy, and it is also directly proportional to atomic radius. As the atomic radius increases, okay, the element can easily give its electron. Okay, the as the atomic radius actually increases, the hold of the nucleus to the valence electron decreases. ठीक है, जो hold है protons का valence electron के लिए वो decrease हो जाता है. That is why they can easily give their valence electrons to non-metals, okay, or to some other species. So metallic character increases down the group, increases down the group. Okay, and the reasons are simple. Okay, next we have melting and boiling point. Eighth is melting and boiling point. Melting and boiling point. Okay, so melting and boiling point actually depends upon the strength of the bond which is formed. So as the size of the atom increases, okay, as the size of the atom increases, the strength of the bond will decrease. The strength of the bond will decrease. That is why that is why the melting and boiling point will decrease. So due to the increase in the size of the due to the increase in atomic size, the melting and boiling point decreases. Okay, and one more thing, as the number of valence electron increases, the melting and boiling point will increase. Okay. Next we have density. Next we have density. Ninth is density. So if we talk about density, density will increase on going down the group. Okay, what is the reason why density is increasing down the group? Because density, as we all know, density is mass upon volume. So as we go down the group, there is increase in both these two terms. Okay, mass भी increase होगा, atomic mass increase हो रहा है, and volume भी increase हो रहा है. Okay, but the increase in atomic mass is more as compared to the increase in volume. So that is why density increases. But there is an exception, that as we move from sodium to potassium, okay, there is a decrease in density. This is an exception, because as we move from sodium to potassium, there is there is not so much increase in mass, but the increase in volume is large. Okay, तो जैसे हम सोडियम से पोटेशियम में जाते हैं तो वॉल्यूम इंक्रीज ज्यादा होता है एज कंपेयर टू इंक्रीज इन मास. सो दैट इज व्हाई डेंसिटी विल डिक्रीज. ओके, तो ऑर्डर जो होगा वो क्या होगा? लिथियम, then we have potassium, then we have sodium, and then rubidium, और उसके बाद क्या होगा cesium. Okay, so this is the order of density. Now next property is the nature of bond. So nature of bond की अगर बात करें, so they all are ionic. They all are ionic in nature. Okay, so they all are ionic in nature. Tenth property is nature of bond. Okay, nature of bond, they all have electrostatic force of attraction. Electrostatic force of attraction. So they all have electrostatic force of attraction. That is why they will form ionic bond. Okay, ionic bond. They all form ionic bond, and as the electropositive character increases, the electrostatic force of attraction will also increase, and the tendency to form ionic bond will also increase. Okay, so the ionic character increases from lithium to potassium. Lithium to cesium. Okay. So now the next property is 11th property is color. Okay, color. So this is the most important property. This is the most important property. Color. So they impart color to the flame. Okay. All alkali metals impart color to the flame, and this is the most important property. We use this property in qualitative analysis also. Impart color to the flame. Now what is the reason why they impart color to the flame? Because as we all know, their electrons are not tightly held, they are loosely held. So when we provide some heat to these metals, okay, they can easily lose their electrons. Okay, for example, this is the ground state. Okay, this is the ground state, and here we have the electrons present. So as we provide some heat, okay, as we provide some heat from the flame, so these electrons gets excited. Okay, these electrons gets excited, and then in after some second, after a very short period of time, they will get de-excited, and they will release energy in the form of electromagnetic waves. They will release energy in the form of electromagnetic waves, which invisible region. Okay, invisible region. Okay, so that is why they impart color to the flame, because their electrons are loosely held, and the colors are for lithium impart crimson red color. Okay, dark red, which is sodium impart, and there is some compound formation also takes place. This crimson color is due to the formation of lithium hydroxide. Okay, due to the formation of lithium hydroxide, and similarly sodium impart yellow color, potassium impart violet color, and then we have rubidium. So potassium impart pale violet, and rubidium impart reddish red violet color, and similarly cesium impart blue color to the flame. Okay, so these are, and in sodium we have two lines. Okay, it is also known as sodium doublet line. Okay, so this is our 11th property. Color impart करते हैं flame को. Okay, now this property is used in qualitative analysis in order to check whether which cation is present. So qualitative analysis में क्या होता है? If we have some unknown compounds. Okay, for example, we have an unknown compound AB. A is the cation and B is the anion. So in order to check which anion is formed, okay, we can easily use this test. This is known as flame test. Okay, flame test is used. So in flame test, we take these, as we all know, these are in the form of powdered. Okay, for example, if we have NaCl or any other compound, for example, we have Na2SO4. But this we don't know that the compound is sodium hydroxide, so we have to do some test. Okay, so in order to check whether sodium is present, lithium is present, or any other cation is present, we use flame test. And firstly, we change these all compounds into chlorides, because chlorides are more volatile. Okay, chlorides are more volatile, so that is why first we use HCl. Okay, we make a paste with concentrated HCl of this powder. Okay, of this salt, we make paste of this HCl, this salt with HCl, and then we take it it on a platinum wire. Okay, we use platinum wire, and that platinum wire is very costly. So we use platinum wire, and then we put this platinum wire on the flame, and then this salt will impart some color. With the help of the color, we can easily check which cation is present. Okay, if it impart violet color, then it may be potassium. Then we do some confirmatory test of potassium, which is given in the table. Okay, we have a guide. Okay, so uh, we can do some confirmatory test in order to confirm whether potassium is present or not. If it impart yellow color, then we do some confirmatory test for sodium. Okay, so this is also in our syllabus, qualitative analysis. Okay, in order to predict the unknown compounds. Okay, so this is our 11th property. Now the last property is very important again, that is photoelectric effect. So due to the low ionization energy, they can easily give their electrons. Okay, so photoelectric effect is what? So photoelectric effect क्या होता है? We have already discussed this effect in the second chapter, photoelectric effect. So it is the phenomena in which we the metal we with fall some photons on the metal. Okay, and with the help of this photons, we can easily eject electrons from the metal. Okay, electrons are ejected from the metals. So as we all know, this is known as photoelectric effect. Okay, तो metals पे क्या करना है हमने, h nu photons को eject करना है, and by ejecting photons we can easily eject by falling with the fall of photons we can easily eject electrons from the metal. So the metals which have low ionization energy can easily give this effect. Okay, and with the help of this we can form some current. Okay, that is known as photoelectric current, and that is why cesium is used in photoelectric cells. Okay, used in photoelectric cells because its work function is very low. Okay, work function, तो वर्क फंक्शन इसका बहुत लो होता है, दैट इज एच न्यू नोट. ओके, देयर एच न्यू नोट इज थ्रेशोल्ड frequency. Okay, so they can easily show photoelectric effect due to their low ionization energy. Okay, so these are some of the main physical properties of alkali metals. Okay, so in the next class we will discuss about the chemical properties of alkali metals, which are very important. Okay, so do revise these all properties, these 12 properties, and I hope you found this lecture very helpful, and thank you so much for watching the lecture.